Mr. Beast, you know him. He thinks trees are cool, he became Mr. Squid Game, and now he's becoming Willy freaking Wonka. At the time of recording this video, he has over 95 million subscribers and over 15 billion views on his main channel alone. He is the 5th most subscribed to a YouTube channel of all time. He has done so much on and off of YouTube, it is impressive. He's given away and donated millions of dollars, tortured himself in many different challenges, gave away an island, planted millions of trees, cleaned up millions of pounds of trash from the ocean, played with bleach while a hurricane was passing by. Yeah, that's one of his lesser known accomplishments, but it did still happen. He's even opened his own restaurant chain and is now selling his own chocolate bars. An impressive feat, no doubt, but is he even a gamer? Oh, well, I guess he is. He even released his own set of video games, Finger on the App 1 and Finger on the App 2. I wouldn't necessarily call them a traditional video game, but I think they still count. Either way, I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with those apps, but what if I told you there was one more game that Mr. Beast is intentionally hiding from you, and he completely removed it off the face of the earth? Well, in today's video, I will tell you the story behind Finger on the App 1 and 2 and explain this mysterious video game. On this channel, I plan to cover every single video game that a YouTuber has made. So if you like YouTube, video games, YouTubers, videos about video games and about YouTubers, then subscribe so you don't miss future uploads. Since I do plan to cover as many YouTuber games as possible, I thought it would be only fitting if in this video I talk about the Mr. Beast copycat himself, Morgs. If you don't know who Morgs is, he creates videos that I can only imagine kids watch.
Well, Mum, it'd be a shame if you got paused.
No, Morgan! No! No!
Pause!
His videos are very extra to say the least. In 2019, people caught on to the fact that Morgs was copying Mr. Beast videos, earning him the reputation of a cringy discount Mr. Beast. Today he still uploads videos, but not as frequently, and they don't seem to be doing as successful. However, I would not call his channel dead by any means. As a side note, I highly recommend you watch his documentary. It's a very interesting watch and it may give you a different opinion on him as a person. I know it did for me, yet my opinion on his videos have not changed at all. And as far as I can tell, he still does not have the best reputation on YouTube, so I am not anticipating enjoying Morg's Ultimate Challenge.
Morg's Ultimate Challenge!
Alright, so we're greeted by Morgs and now you have to customize your character. After that, it sends you to the main menu where you see 4 minigames. One's coming soon and 2 are locked, so I guess for now we'll play food or not food.
Feeling hungry?
I was until I saw that terrifying Bitmoji thing of Morgs. Alright, so we eat the food and don't eat the not food. Beat Morg's high score and get $1,000. Alright, I think oh god. Terrifying characters aside, this minigame is good. You have to eat as much real food as possible by swiping it to your character's mouth before the time runs out. Every time you eat real food, you gain a bit more time. And if you eat the golden glowy food, you gain a lot more time. And Morgs goes...
Extra time!
Fun fact, I actually despise his exaggerated voice that he uses in his videos. If you eat something that isn't food, you lose time and Morgs goes...
Why would you eat that? Ew, disgusting! Gross!
And I hate that so much. And I don't hate it just because it's his exaggerated voice. I hate how frequently I have to hear it. Anyway, it's a simple yet fun minigame, and it actually can be confusing on what's what when things get faster. Let's just say I messed up a lot more than I expected to. So when you inevitably lose, it ranks your scores against Morgs and people that I assume are associated with Morgs. I beat them all first try. So I level up, get a lot of cash, and the game asks if I want to customize my avatar, and of course I do. You're only able to buy things randomly and the clothes are really just a color swap for the most part. I believe that's the only thing you can buy with the cash that you win. Very underwhelming. You level up by casually playing, and when you get to level 3 you unlock the floor is lava. For this game you are given basically no instructions aside from the obvious. So I die immediately, and when you fall in the lava, Morgs goes...
It's burning!
And I have never been more motivated to do well than while playing this game. I figured out that you have to choose between moving either 1 space or 2 spaces. You go until the clock runs out and you can land on watches to give yourself more time. That's it. Another yet simply surprising fun minigame. And I will say, for whatever reason, this one was my favorite. It just feels like the most straightforward and satisfying game to me. At level 6, you unlock the last game, Shark Attack. Again, you're left with little information, so I died very quickly. And again, you go until the clock runs out and you just avoid the sharks the entire time by going side to side. There's only two types of sharks, gray and red. The gray sharks just stay still while the red ones move last second to the opposite side. However, since the game did not tell me anything, I at first thought that they auto-targeted to you when they got close, and I was very confused. Once I did figure it out, it was very easy, but I didn't play much of it because it hurts my eyes once it goes too fast. And that's the entire app. Unless you're going for a high score in the leaderboards or trying to get all of the costumes, you're not going to be playing this game for even 20 minutes. Or at least I didn't. I really can't call this app bad because the minigames are well made, there's just not a ton to it. Along with that, you do have to put up with Morgs' repetitive dialogue. And yes, this game is riddled with ads, but that's how every mobile game is nowadays, so I really can't dock points for that, even though I really want to because it is so annoying. So if you have 10 minutes to kill and you're very bored, then I guess you might as well download this game. I can't believe I'm even saying that. So let's now move on to somebody less British, Mr. Beast. Finger on the App was a mobile game created by Mr. Beast and Beast Games in collaboration with Mischief. Mischief is described as an art collective. They've made things from a rubber chicken bong to a dog collar that turns barks into swear words. They've even worked with Lil Nas X to create sneakers, and of course Mr. Beast for Finger on the App. Feel free to learn more about Mischief on their website if you want to. However, their website is atrocious to navigate and it looks like it was made in the 90s. But regardless, I guess this team can help with basically anything. Finger on the App was a very simple game. You keep your finger on the app for as long as possible. You have 3 lives and occasionally you have to move your finger just to prevent bots from winning. The last person to take their finger off wins $25,000. The first competition took place on June 30th, 2020 with over 1 million players. The app worked well aside from things like Siri ruining everything on occasion.
Hey Ziri, I appreciate the... Oh my god!
I don't know what that means.
The competition ran for over 70 hours. 4 players were left when Mr. Beast decided to award all 4 players the win and the $20,000. The original Finger on the App was very successful and everyone seemed to be happy with it. So why not make a sequel? Well, perhaps it should have ended there. On March 15th, 2021, Mr. Beast launched Finger on the App 2. I know, he is so creative with these names. The game was originally supposed to be launched in December 2020, yet was delayed to February and then to March of 2021 due to a flood of downloads causing the game to crash and requiring the game's developers to upgrade their servers. It's essentially the same game with the concept, but now the prize is increased to $100,000. And Lords Mobile was a sponsor. So on March 1st, 2021, the competition started. There were more players than the first competition, but not by much. Which is weird considering the increase in prize money and the fact that Mr. Beast gained millions of new fans since the first game. Despite that, the game was in full swing and was a disaster. A lot of people were getting kicked off of the app and randomly losing lives despite not taking their fingers off of the app. Many people took to Twitter complaining and plenty of streamers had proof of the game suddenly not working. There were even microtransactions to buy extra lives in the game, so people wasted money on that as well and of course were not happy. The Beast Games Twitter did reach out to people offering refunds. Mr. Beast himself even apologized by saying sorry. I'm sorry, this is just so funny. Like, this is kind of a big thing to mess up, so to reply by saying sorry is just genuinely hilarious to me. However, he did say they're looking into it as well. The Beast Game Twitter soon posted an update with potential problems, but that didn't really help anybody. There was even a conspiracy that a Lords Mobile ad popped up to randomly knock people out, but that was just the screen that popped up once you lost and people didn't realize that right away. After 2 days and 3 hours, a 19-year-old named SwagBacon123 was the last person with his finger on the app and won $100,000. The person in second place did get $20,000 as well. Overall, some people did have fun with the app, but more people were angry about the bugs and glitches. I do not suspect they will be making a Finger on the App 3. The game's reputation overall is negative, and the second game didn't even attract a whole lot of new players, so I don't see a huge motivation to make another one, even if you did fix all the bugs and glitches. Now the moment you have all been waiting for, Mr. Beast's secret game. On July 30th, 2020, Mr. Beast uploaded a video on his second channel called Solve This Riddle for $100,000. Long story short, he was attempting to create the world's hardest riddle. It was more of an ARG, which isn't anything new, but whatever. There were 26 steps to this riddle, and whoever solves it first wins $100,000. Oh, and this entire thing was sponsored by Apex Legends. He jam-packed this first video with so many different potential clues to try and throw people off. In the description, he says that this took months to set up, and they expect this to take over a week. It only took 8 hours. No, the secret Mr. Beast video game I'm talking about isn't this riddle entirely, but it is part of the riddle. I suppose it would be unsatisfying if I only talked about the secret video game without talking about the rest of the ARG, so I'm going to explain all 26 steps in rapid fire. In the original video, Jimmy says there's 6 yellow numbers sprinkled throughout the entire riddle that you have to keep track of. Those 6 numbers will be the code to win. Step 1 is linked in the description of the video that we just talked about. It brings you to a video where Jimmy explains that there's 10 links in the description and only 1 link will bring you to step 2, and the rest are dead ends, which is true, and the right one in the middle brings you to step 2. Step 2 is the same exact thing as step 1, but instead there is no link in the description and you have to type out the links to guess which works. The 7th link is the correct one. Step 3 is a 7.5-minute video of Jimmy eating cereal. Wow, Mr. Beast is stealing from 11-year-old me. 6 minutes in, Jimmy actually says something.
If you look in the bottom left corner of the screen, you'll see a URL. It's only going to be there for a second. All right, it's gone. Going back to cereal eating. Good luck.
The website no longer works. In fact, if the website is not on YouTube, it most likely does not work anymore. Either way, all it did was direct you to an 11-minute video of Chris and Carl playing rock, paper, scissors. Throughout the video, you can hear beeping in the background. That beeping is actually Morse code for this link. The website redirects you to a video. In the video, all he does is tell you to click the link in the description, and that he needs your email so he can track you to make sure that nobody is cheating. A bunch of places around the world were not able to continue past this point for legal reasons. I am not sure why Jimmy didn't say that from the start. Step 6 and 7 are just signing up and agreeing. Step 8 brings you to a phone emulator where Jimmy explains that any numbers you see throughout this riddle should only be used on the emulator. There's a voicemail on the phone that alludes to the riddle announcement video where he throws Orbeez at a picture of Baby Yoda. Because of the Instagram logo in the corner of that picture, you need to go to the Mr. Beast Instagram account and find another account that he's following called Baby Yoda Riddles. The bio of that account has a link that brings you to step 9. Step 9 is a page of hundreds of QR codes. Most are dead ends and the correct one is randomly generated. This would have taken people a while to solve just due to how many codes there are, but people made a code where you can scan all the QR codes very quickly and find the correct link. Step 10 brings you back to the phone emulation where a video plays that again references the riddle's announcement video where Chandler is eating a cookie. Because of the Twitter logo on his head, you're supposed to go to the Mr. Beast Twitter account and find an account called Mr. Cookie is Here. The only tweet by this account is a link back to the phone emulation. Step 11 is instructed by a text from Jimmy. What you have to do is go to the 6,969th entry in the dictionary app on the phone, which means that people had to go through over 6,000 pages in that dictionary. The word is cub. If you text that to Jimmy, you get a really long text message for step 12. The text is from the Jungle Book. Hidden in that text is a number to call. For step 13, you call that number. You then get a seemingly random message from Jimmy, but if you take the first letter of each of the word and make it into a URL, you get step 14. We're halfway there. The website is just a YouTube video that clues you into going to Chris's Instagram account, and there you will find an Apex Legend themed account for step 15. So if you add the account's username to the link that brought you to step 14, you get step 16. Step 16 just has you completing a quote from Apex Legends. For step 17, you then get redirected to this website where you have to enter moisturize, which is a reference to a video that pops up after you get it right. For step 18, you're directed back to the cell phone. You get a text from Jimmy saying code free store. In the original announcement video, there's this sign with Chinese numbers on it that you have to decode to find a phone number. Once you find the number, you go back to your phone emulation and give it a call. And from there, all you have to do is enter free store on the phone. You're then redirected to a call with Shakespeare, which you can just hang up on. This is a clue to go to mrriddle.com/Shakespeare. Step 20 is a word search where you have to find the word subscribe to Mr. Beast. Once done, it gives you this page, and you have to text the number the code it gives you. You're you're then given a link for step 21. What you have to do is count every letter in the captions from this video that's linked directly under a hint. And then you have to multiply that number by 42,069. A sneaky way to get a lot of views and watch time on a trailer, isn't it? You then get your answer, and so you text it back to the number you were just texting. You then get a link to Carl's favorite game for step 22. Carl's favorite game is a Flappy Bird ripoff using Carl's face and shield cells from Apex Legends. Also, you have this lovely sound effect. There you go, there's the secret game. I'm sorry, I just thought it'd be really funny to build suspense for this just garbage game. To be fair, you can't say I clickbaited you because this is step 22 in a 26-step ARG from 2020. The original video isn't even on his main channel. How can you get more secretive than this? Not to mention the game is now unplayable. Back to the ARG. And Carl's favorite game for that matter. So you have to get to level 100 in this garbage game, and then you're rewarded with these coordinates. Fun fact, people actually made a script so you didn't have to beat Carl's favorite game. Anyway, these coordinates are to the Grand Canyon. In the original video, Chris is driving a golf cart with the Grand Canyon on the license plate, and there's a Twitch icon on top of it. So what you have to do is go to Carl's Twitch to a VOD that at the time was only a few days old. He was playing on the Grand Canyon map in Apex. 6 hours in, he flashed a random website, and that website is step 24. On that website is a stopwatch that you have to stop directly on 69 seconds exactly. Again, people made macros so you didn't have to do it on your own. Regardless, once you do it, you're on to step 25. Here you have to trial and error codes until you get to the final page. I'm not sure exactly what this means, and there were not a lot of screenshots either. Once you're on the final page, you have to enter the key code that you've been collecting throughout the hunt. And once you do that, you are all done.
Congratulations on solving the world's hardest riddle. Take those 6 yellow letters you saw throughout the riddle and put them in the box below, and if you're the first person to do that, I will ship this 100 grand to your house. Congrats.
So I bet you're wondering who the winner is. Well, I am too. Apparently, the winner did not want any of this fame that came with solving the riddle. I can totally respect that, but that does call for a little underwhelming ending. Regardless, I think the world's hardest riddle was a very interesting scavenger hunt, and I would love to see more just like this in the future. Like I said in the beginning, I plan to cover every single game made by a YouTuber that I can get my hands on, so if there's any game you want me to cover, let me know in the comments below, and subscribe so you don't miss the upload. In the meantime, I think you guys might enjoy my review of these PewDiePie games. That's all I got. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a happy Tuesday.